Kia ora and welcome along to Friday's forecast, looking ahead in towards the weekend. And the good news for many of us, it is looking like a dry weekend with plenty of clear sky and sunshine in store. The downside, we are still going to keep hold of some pretty cold temperatures, especially across the South Island. But look at this for the satellite picture as we go through this morning for Friday morning. Plenty of clear sky across the South Island and the North Island as well. For most of us as well, plenty of sunshine through that. There's more cloud on this eastern coast, but still got that southeasterly feed of air bringing a bit more cloud through parts of Wairarapa, Hawke's Bay and Gisborne. And there are still a few pockets of low cloud in through those valleys of the south of the country down towards central Otago. And beneath that cloud, pretty reluctant to clear away. Temperatures are on the cold side. I think some spots not getting much above freezing over the last few days. So a few more days to come through. But we are going to find, for most of us, there's plenty of dry and sunny weather. As we head through the rest of Friday afternoon, high pressure extends right the way across the South Island. To the north, we have got an area of low pressure, and that's keeping this southeasterly feed of air in towards the eastern coast, bringing more cloud and showers through there. But generally, the story for the end of the day is very much the same as it has been through the day. So if you're dry now, you'd like to be dry as we go towards the end of the day, but we're going to keep more cloud on that eastern coast and a few more showers still to come. As we head through the night time tonight, again, nice clear skies. We'll find again the return of some mist and fog in towards parts of the South Island, especially those inland valleys. A touch more pushing on towards that eastern coast as well. So it could be a bit of a misty and frosty start first thing across the South Island. For the North Island, again, plenty of clear sky through places like Taupo, Waikato, and up towards Northland and Auckland and down towards Wellington. But on that eastern side, there's more cloud and showers lasting through the night time. But I think all of us are going to find it is a cold night. Coldest though down across the South Island, especially central parts of Otago. We could find temperatures back down to -5, -6 degrees Celsius in those inland areas. But even places like Christchurch, back down to 2 degrees Celsius, still cold enough for a touch of ground frost as we head through towards the early hours of the morning for Saturday. For the North Side, although temperatures are a degree or so warmer on the whole, it's still cold, and especially for those inland areas, places like Taupo, 4 degrees Celsius. Tamaranui, I think cold enough again for you to have a frosty start to the day as we head in towards that first part of Saturday. But speaking of Saturday, the good news is the wet weather we were looking at yesterday is looking like it's going to stay mainly offshore. So we have cancelled those severe weather watches for the eastern side, but we are going to keep more cloud around that eastern side of the North Island and still more showers to come for Hawke's Bay and Gisborne, Tairāwhiti. Other than that, most spots I think will get away with a dry story. A few isolated showers around the likes of the Marlborough Sounds and that far northern shoulder of the South Island as we head through the morning time. And we have got a little bit more wet weather pushing back towards Fiordland, but between those two systems, most of New Zealand is set for a dry day on Saturday. So let's start things off up in the North Island. A cold and frosty start once again, especially places like Waikato where you get those clear skies through the night time. There's more cloud on this eastern side, right the way up from Wairarapa towards Hawke's Bay and Tairāwhiti, and a few showers still pushing through there as well. But on the whole, for many of us, it's a dry looking day. A clear, cool start, but I think we'll find that sunshine help to lift our temperatures as we go through the day, and highs back to around about 16s and 17 degrees Celsius. A little bit more cloud on this eastern side, 14s and 15s there for Gisborne and Hawke's Bay. As we go through in towards the night time, overnight now, Friday into Saturday, Saturday into Sunday, it's the weekend of course, we are going to find our temperatures on the cool side. So again, cold enough for a touch of frost, a chilly start as we go through towards Sunday, but Sunday, for many of us, is shaping up to be a fairly similar story as we'll go through Saturday. So not a bad looking weekend. Heading down towards the South Island, again, we've got a few pockets of mist and fog. Might find a little bit of low cloud around through the Canterbury Plains to start the day, but that should clear away as we head through in towards the afternoon. I think we'll even see a bit of a clearance through those inland valleys as we head towards the afternoon. The wind's just a little bit more, helping to mix things up a little bit. So we should find a bit of sunshine for many of us as we go through the daytime tomorrow. You can see we've got that next area of wet weather pushing on towards the far south and western side of the South Island. Some more cloud in towards Fiordland and pushing across towards Southland. Some patchy rain making its way towards that far south and western side of the country as we head towards the end of the day. But for the bulk of the island, more clear and fine weather once that early fog clears away. Temperature-wise, a cold and frosty start, especially in those central parts of Otago, but we should find our temperatures lifting up. Many spots, I think, struggling to get into double figures. Places like Christchurch, though, back to around about 11 or 12 degrees Celsius, but you'll notice it's another cold night as we go through towards the early hours of Sunday. So another cold and frosty one as we head through to Sunday. But Sunday is not looking like a bad day. We've got this area of low pressure that's staying mostly offshore, but it's going to feed more cloud on towards that eastern side of the North Island. This next feature you can see runs up that western coast, brings a few more showers through there. But on the whole, again, Sunday shapes up to be a pretty dry day for many of us. Some good spells of sunshine. And I think, again, a little bit on the cool side, we're going to find it quite reluctant to get rid of those really cold temperatures. But I think we are going to find just a touch more cloud on that far eastern side of the North Island. But the good news is this heavier rainfall at least looks to stay away for most of the weekend. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.